Good evening. This is the Elliott wave update for the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ 100 for Monday, May 1st, 2023. Beginning with the S&P, the days continue to be interesting as far as trading goes, and what the markets are doing sometimes can be a little bit confusing and take a little time to actually figure out. But here's what I've come up with for today. I do think that the markets, both the S&P and the NASDAQ, continue to have upside potential, and likely we're going to see that follow through at some point tomorrow and possibly into Wednesday, when we will then get the Fed decision at 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern on Wednesday. In lieu of that, or in front of that, the market continues to work through what I am counting as a minor fifth wave, and that minor fifth wave would then in turn complete an intermediate C wave, which in turn will complete the primary B wave. So we've had a very large primary degree counter trend rally, which began off of the October 2022 lows and continues to now work through what I am considering its final stages. Now, the whole move itself has been very deceptive. And as we continue to blast higher, as we continue to push higher, it is continuing to be deceptive, because there's quite a few people who, or analysts and people and everybody else, who are believing that, oh no, we're done. That October low was the low. Now, I will add that my colleague, Dan Ascani, did bring to my attention that there is a very dependable, very regular 4-year cycle that actually bottomed in October 2022. And so it is pointing up basically for the next 2 years. But there are a couple of ways that we can interpret that. And there's a left-hand and a right-hand interpretation, and it could top early and go into the next decline, which would bring it in sooner than 2028. Or actually 2026, excuse me. So in any case, we've got some things that are working towards why we're going up in the cycle basis. We have other different cycles that also come into play here. But more importantly, what I'm really focusing on right now is the structure of each one of these moves. And I'm trying to be as detailed and accurate as I can as we get up towards an ultimate top. So here again, ES hourly chart, the wave 4 low, which was at 4068.75, and that would have been on the 26th of April. So last Wednesday. And then we started to rally. And initially, I'm thinking like, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we go. But then I was also discussing last night the possibility, it's like, wow, what happens if this is only one, minute 2, and then we're going on to 3, and that just kind of really pushed upside to a very, very high level that I'm beginning to doubt that the market's going to have the ability to kind of push through. Unless, of course, the Fed does do something extraordinary. Now, but what I did come up with is that we did kind of come down in 1, 2, 3, 4. These are all the internals for this minute third. And then we get another 5 beautifully extended. So I'm counting it as the completion point for minute 3, and that would have been at today's highs, which was 4206.25. So if that being the case, beautifully constructed by the time I pulled back and took a look at it, beautifully constructed, beautifully extended, but all within a third wave. So the pattern fits very cleanly to what Elliott has shown us and guided us in trying to determine third waves, and that they're the longest and often they're the most often the longest and the strongest out of the 3 impulse 1, 3, and 5. So what we then would be in, because the market started to come off pretty cleanly, would be a fourth wave, a minute fourth wave. So what are the fibs that go along? Well, here they are right here. A very high level, but at 41.76 hasn't been reached, but got very close right into today's close, the after hour close. And we may see some additional as the market reopens in Globex in about 40 minutes, or 35 minutes or so. If not, then we have the 50, the hourly 50 sitting at 41.68. And then we have the 382, which is a pretty common level for a fourth wave at 41.58. So we have support coming off, additional support. I have now marked as if it has already come back down to 41.58 and putting up the new fibs on where this all can go. Now remember, minor 5 would be equal to minor wave 1 at 43.03, I believe it is, 303, 304, down in there. And that's up here. That's still like up into this zone. Now, if it got down this far, we're looking for 5 waves up, right, to finish of minuet degree to finish the minute fifth wave, which in turn finishes the minor fifth wave, et cetera, all the way up until we get to that primary B wave. But on a minute fifth wave basis, we have 618 or 62% at 42.35. We have 70.5 at 42.50 or 46. We have 78.6 at 42.56. Remember, we are looking for this C wave, which this is all a part of. All of this is a part of a C wave. We're looking for that to get to the C wave to break to a new high above the A wave, which currently sits at 42.49. I believe that's correct. 42.50 on the nose. Okay, so we need to get it above 42.50. Well, we have it right there, 42.56. But then we have 42.93. So we have plenty of room before we get to where wave 5 would be equal to wave 1. Now, bringing it back down on the hourly chart, when we're taking a look, wave 1 is basically 10 points. So I'm not going to work here. So that forces me out to those other calculations. That all seems to fit. So bottom line, we continue to have upside potential and probable moves before this whole sequence is finished. And that's my point. And these are the levels that we are looking for to push into and possibly even exceed. Now, over in the NASDAQ, basically same type of pattern, a little bit different. Because we have a 1, 2, 3, and then a 4. Much cleaner and different than in the S&P. And so what we're in is already that fifth wave. And this, I believe, is 1 of 5. And we're in an A, B, and we're going to come back down in a C for wave 2 of 5. Now, what and how and where could that go? Well, we're going to take a look. We're looking for a wave 2, so we go to the bottom of wave 1 to the top of wave 1, and we have all of these in here. So there are these inside numbers, and right now we've got the 50% at 13,270, but we needed to come below there, and that brings us down to 618, which is 13,245. And I would suspect we're going to find some decent support and hold on this area if indeed we're doing an ABC and we're going to start to go back up again and get ourselves back above 13,370 up towards 13,431 to 13,440. That is where I'm thinking this fifth wave should complete. But then again, if this is only wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're up into these levels. Can it do it? It can. It really can. I'm going to leave that count alone. I'm going to let that be. The only other side that I can take a look at would be that this is a little bit different. 1, 2, 3, ABC, 4. As long as it doesn't come down and bow over that. So again, it gets a little tight, but I'm going to let the market work it out, not let the market tell me, and then get ready to turn. Because this is a consistent level where we've been looking for the whole minor fifth wave to come in and complete. Our moving averages continue to also favor additional upside. We're kind of cusping and kind of rolling a little bit as we finish up this corrective wave. So I'm going to continue to look for some upside. And we're going to find resistance at 13,370, which we now have several times. And then above that, I guess we'll probably find it about, 95 and then 13,400 simply because it's a nice big round number. All right, I'm going to end it right there. Our next update will be on Tuesday, May the 2nd.